This is Boxing Tickets NI in association with that prize guy. We're here in Antrim at the Boxing Academy. Today we're joined by former Unified World Champion Ryan Burnett. It's the first time ever doing an interview. We've planned it a few times.
First time?
Just hasn't come to it, so I had to come to Antrim to get the interview today.
Well, I'm here now, so let's get rocking.
Obviously you're coaching now probably just over a year. I think I posted last week here. They said a year sort of, as a pro coach.
Yep.
How are you finding the change over, I guess, from being the student to now being the master?
I'm loving it. It's great to be back into the game. It's like I keep saying to people, you're back in the game, but you're not taking punches in the face anymore. So, no, absolutely loving it. It's great to be back moving and back in the circle of the fighting scene.
I'd said to you, I think at the Devonish a couple of weeks ago, you're sort of now starting to get the different venues. You sort of maybe went in the box that before you were Madison Square Garden for Donagh's fight. Obviously in 4 weeks' time we've crocker, donovan 2 at Windsor Park. Like, you're getting the experience other fighting venues now you probably maybe haven't been in before.
Yeah, I mean, it's a total different experience when you're going to these venues and you're not fighting, but you're going to look after someone, which is also something new to me and different to my career. So it's it's all exciting. It's very interesting being on this side of the ropes than in the ring.
It took, after I guess a couple of years sort of out from it, like, were you, the problem we seem to find with boxing at the moment, there's probably a lot of fighters out there who are retired but never sort of announced they're retired. How did you find retirement? Did then come back into boxing? Like, you missed it so much you had to get back in?
No, believe it or not, I didn't want to be involved. After I retired, I opened up the gym and I had the gym for probably 4 years, and I'd never really wanted to be a coach or even be a professional coach. I was just enjoying being in the fitness industry, but then I start doing one-to-ones with professional fighters, and the conversation that you're having with professional fighters is different than the public. I mean, it's more in-depth about fighting and movement, and I very quickly found myself, I love this type of conversation. I love this, like, getting into the real nitty-gritty of fighting, which you can only have with professional boxers as such. So after having a couple of one-to-ones, I realised I really do love this, and had a chat with my wife, and I just thought, you know what, I'm going to get back into it. And since I have, I've been absolutely loving it.
Is it one of them sometimes where people's coming to you, not slating other people they train, but you're seeing flaws that they have in their game, where you're going, I can actually fix that for you, so come and work with me?
It wasn't a point of come and work with me. I've been in the game for such a long time, and I've worked with the best coaches in the world. And over that period of time, I always asked the question, why? So if a coach told me, move this way, do this, I said, well, why? And they would give me a breakdown. And over the years, I'd gathered all this knowledge, and having conversations with pro fighters, I found that I had all this knowledge to give, and it was fixing people's problems. And then just more people start coming to me, and it just sort of steamrolled from there.
Does it make it easier for the wife at home now, knowing that you're not coming home and talking about boxing? You've all the fighters and everybody in the gym, so when you come home at night time, it's like, let's forget about the boxing to the next day.
I don't bring my boxing back to the house. I just leave it in the gym, and then pick up where I left off when I walk back in the doors.
4 weeks from first potential, obviously the first belt in the stable as well. Like, everybody always remembers their first thing. You'd posted last week to say you're a world champion boxer now. The aim is to become a world champion trainer. This is the first step towards that for you now.
Yeah, definitely. I always put my goals pretty big, and I think for my goal now as a professional coach, I want to train a world champion, which I do think that I'll be able to. It just takes the right fighter to walk in the door and be working with the right fighter to make that happen. But yeah, I'm very excited for one of my lads to be fighting for a belt. It's going to be a massive moment for myself, me becoming the coach of a champion. I'm really excited for it. I think it's the Rudy and the Boreland fight is a real good one, and I'm really looking forward to that night, bringing the belt back home to the gym.
The sort of fights come as a way because of you. Obviously, you put out a post and you probably weren't sure of the reaction. You're trying to make a fight, and sometimes people take it the wrong way. You wanted a fight, you wanted two people to get an opportunity, which they're now getting probably thanks to you. But obviously, you wanted Matty to fight Rudy. Rudy took it really bad, but the fights happened. So it's probably in some ways thank you for the publicity it's got.
So put it this way, I did that video and I could put it out on social media, and it went absolutely mental. Rudy said went mad, and all the Boreland fans, they all went mad, and there was a big whole uproar on social media for probably a week or two. But look what's came from it. Both lads are fighting on Windsor, and both lads are getting a bag of money. So it worked, I suppose, and at the end of the day, both lads are going to walk away happy. So for me, doing a silly shout out on social media, which was always lighthearted, it was never meant to offend anyone or dig anyone out. It was a lighthearted thing. I sort of just threw a grenade into a circle, step back, watch it blow up. But look what's came from it. Both lads are fighting on a humongous show, and both lads are getting paid pretty well. And I mean, from my perspective, both lads have won out of this situation. So yeah, I knew what I was doing right at the very beginning when I was doing that little video. I knew that people would latch on to it because it's not something I do. I knew people would latch on to it and kick off about it, but I knew what would happen later down the line. And look what's happened. Both lads are fighting on probably one of the biggest shows here, and they're both getting paid. They're both getting paid pretty well. So in my eyes, it was a win.
Definitely was. They both have to give you some commission out of that somewhere. Speaking obviously of Crocker Donovan too, obviously the first all-Irish world title fight, does it give you, I guess obviously as a fan of the sport, also a trainer and a former fighter, does it give you a serious buzz, serious pride also as well? Do you know that the winner of this fight becomes another IBF world champion?
I think it's incredible. Just the whole story and the whole run-up to this fight's absolutely amazing. It's got everyone roped in. Purely from a boxing fan perspective, I can't wait. I think it's going to be an absolute cracker. I think Lewis is going to bring something different to the table. I think Donovan's as sharp as a pin. I think both of them know what they're going to be met with, and it'll raise both of their games. So I think this fight will be slightly different than the first fight, but I think we're going to see a better version of what we seen the first time from both lads.
You were at the first fight as well, weren't you?
Yeah.
So obviously the atmosphere was incredible. Like, you know, you fought in the SSE, you obviously won both your world titles in the SSE. Like, different atmosphere obviously from your nights. Did that, I guess, sit on the opposite side of the ring and going, what a fight?
Probably not a different atmosphere. The atmosphere for my fights was incredible. Same sort of thing is when Lewis and Paddy was walking out, the atmosphere is unbelievable. It always is in the SSE. But yes, from a fan perspective, being on the outside and watching something that is turned now into a world title fight was incredible. I can't wait to watch the next one. As a boxing fan, I can't wait to be ringside and watching Paddy and Lewis go at it again.
I'll not ask your opinion too much because obviously I guess in some ways you'll have an allegiance to Lewis, but obviously Andy Lee's obviously a really good friend of yours. You're both stablemates, I think, as well, so you don't really want to offend either side, but sort of, you're like me, you stick in the middle and just want a good fight.
Yes, it'll be definitely something I won't be making an opinion on. Obviously I'm from Belfast, Lewis from Belfast, but I have a great friendship with Andy, so I'm not going to sort of dig out one end or the other. I've got my idea about who's going to win the fight, but I'll keep it to myself.
See who pays you the most for your opinion, sort of. Obviously, the rest of the stable here, that you've had them all in fights now. Obviously, Charles and Conor Quinn, James Freeman, and obviously Donagh as well. Like, you built a really good stable of fighters here. Is 5 enough for you? You know, does that give you the ample time with each of them?
Yeah, I mean, I said that my roof would be six lads, so I'm just waiting on potentially one more coming along, and that's I'll close my doors. But I'm not at the moment. My hands are full with them. Everything runs really well in the gym, and it's great. I mean, it works really well with 5 lads. It works really well.
It's one of them sort of people who watch us now and they go, "Oh no, the door's open for one more." And I think I put up when you first started coaching a big long line of sort of people like you're going to come to the gym here one morning. And there's going to be 50 fighters standing at the door going, pick me, man.
I've had loads of fighters message me, but I'm at the point where I'm lucky enough I don't need to take anyone on. Really, I can just wait until I feel this next fighter is going to be special. Whether that comes next week or in the next year, I don't know. I'm not sure. But at the moment, I could potentially get another one in, but I'm in no rush by any means. I'm pretty busy as it is, so. With the 5, like I said, it runs somewhat smoothly.
Yeah, they all seem to be sort of around the same sort of age bracket and stuff as well, which bodes very well. Like, sometimes you don't want a fighter, it's 20 fights. Fair play to Andy. Andy's doing a great job with fighters he's taken. It's had quite a few fights, you know, and then they transfer over, like Ben Whittaker and things like that. Like, the fighters he's now bringing on. Joe Parker's another one.
Yeah.
Look at the difference in Andy this last 18 months as a coach. but there's all that development he's had to do in the background with him.
Yeah, I mean, that's just hats off to Andy. Andy's an incredible coach, and he was always. I've been in camp with Andy for loads and loads of times. We were on the same team for a long time. So Andy's someone I've always looked up to. And watching Andy train, you can sort of see why he's such a good coach, because he's very, when he was training, he's very detailed, and he was always watching and he was always listening. So to be honest, I'm not surprised that Andy's able to make these champions and do what he's doing in the game.
Is it because what you were saying earlier in the interview about the why, it's why am I doing this, why am I doing this? Is that what's making you a good coach, because you understand the why for everything?
Well, for me, I feel, not saying by any means that I'm a great coach or whatever, but I have a deep understanding of boxing. I have a deep understanding of the emotional side of boxing and what way the boxing game works as such. And the conversations I've been having with the lads, they've not been having conversations like that elsewhere. And it's sort of, I feel when I talk about boxing and talk about coaching, I just come into my own, and it works. Everyone who walks through the door, and I have a in-depth conversation about boxing, the emotional side of things, the physical things, the mental side of things. It seems like, well, I just know it because I've done it for my whole life.
Well, your career was cut short, obviously, on what it was. I think I've said this in interviews with Conor Quinn before. Are you now getting to relive what you've lost in your career now through your fighters? Is this where your dreams and being the world champion coach and things now come because your career was cut so short? Like I often think about it, Ryan, and go, you're a unified world champion, but if things didn't go the way they did, how many more belts would you have had?
Well, the thing is, with that conversation, you could be dwelling on it forever. I could have dwelled on that conversation for the rest of my life, which would have spiraled me into depression at the end of the day. But for me, I thought to myself, I was lucky. God gave me a great career. Everything went well for me. I walked away from boxing and had a few quid in the bank, and I was able to be somewhat set up for the rest of my life. So no, I don't dwell on having now a chance to relive my dreams through someone else. I just find the opportunity for me to be in a coach is more, well, this is good, this is enjoyment, and I'm back into something that I love. Boxing's been my life, my entire life, and now I have an opportunity to experience the different side of fighting from the outside, which is now just another great thing that's happening. So no, I'm not sort of living my life or living my potential dreams through other fighters, because I'm very grateful for what I had out of boxing. But yeah, I'm just enjoying where I'm at the moment and experiencing these venues and fights and being that guy that's the coach now. So
it's good that the knowledge you have, you would pass on to other fighters, and hopefully then the fighters you have now, whenever it comes to their time of hanging them up, they'll go into coaching and keep that pyramid scheme going where that knowledge keeps passing down through generations.
Well, for me, I think a coach is how you can give a fighter an understanding of what they're doing. And for me, I break things down quite a bit. My whole goal is to give the fighter a deep understanding of what they're doing and why they're doing it and what emotions they should feel in certain scenarios. And I think that I'm pretty good at doing that. So, yeah, and I always tell the guys to vividly think about what I'm telling them. And I'm sort of installing that into their brain. So, never know. I might make a good coach out of someone else one day.
That's what you just don't know what, where it is down the line. Like somebody could have coached you 10 different ways to do something. Somebody coached you one way. It's finding that right understanding with the right person.
Yeah, I mean, it's finding that right understanding with a different person, but every fighter's built different, and I just feel over the years of training with the best coaches in the world, it's given me that understanding, because I've fought everyone from being on the Irish team right the way through to world level professional. I fought everyone, tall, small, big. I fought everyone, and I always ask the question, why? Why do you want me to move this way? Why do you want me to do this? And the coaches I always worked with, they would then give me a detailed explanation of why they wanted me to do something, but that always, it's stuck in my head. And now I'm very fortunate enough that I can pick out what I learned and give to the lads. So
final question always before I let you go. I know it's a Friday afternoon and you want to go into other things. You're going full circle moment now with Eddie Hearn, obviously from being promoted and managed and things like that with Eddie on your famous nights in the SSA Arena to now being a coach on the opposite side. Are you looking forward to rekindling that romance with Eddie on the 13th September?
I mean, like I said, it's all new to me. Being on this side of the ropes, it's all new. So it's good when you're able to get to the weigh-ins and stuff, and you're chatting back to old faces. Like when I walk into a press conference run by Matchroom, it's sort of, I get greeted with open arms because I know all the media team, I know everyone behind the scenes. So it's great. Just it feels like being back home as such.
Well, look, thanks very much for your time.
Nice
Hopefully
one.
we'll not leave it too long before we do another one, but obviously I wish you and your fighters all the very best for the 13th September, and we'll catch up with you very soon.
Next one. Cheers.
Cheers, Ryan. Thank you.